the only one that I really know is my mom, but she's modalistic by accident.
Then why don't you say
by
more
accident?
specific, man?
Yeah. So she believes that Jesus is the Father just because of how holy and glorious he is.
Who's
But
holy and glorious?
Jesus.
And that makes him the Father in her mind?
In her mind, yes. But
Why?
I'm trying to learn how to find out scripturally to counter that idea because I don't want her to fall into a
What
heresy.
evidence does she give you that Jesus is the Father?
She doesn't really give me evidence per se. She was raised Catholic, but then became Protestant, but is still Catholic because I'm pursuing Catholicism. So she's coming back to Catholicism.
Okay. So then
because of
wait for her to mature into faith and it'll sink in, because she can't come to the Catholic faith and deny the Trinity. So just you're asking me how to convince her. I don't even know why she thinks Jesus is the Father apart from him being holy. So then you work with her. Well, if Jesus is God, then he is infinitely holy, but it doesn't mean he has to be the Father, because the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Spirit is God. Walk her through the basics, man. That's it.
Okay.
Ask her why you think he's the Father. Well, he's holy. All right, I agree. But what makes you think that if he's holy, he has to be the Father? As assuming that if he's one with the Father nature, whatever the Father is, he would be in nature. So if the Father is holy, he'd be holy too. That doesn't mean modalism.
Okay.
Right?
Because scripture like John 4:24,
God is spirit. Okay.
yeah, that's where things could get a little bit confusing if not read correctly.
I don't know why would it be confusing when Jesus says that God there is the Father is spirit. Why is that confusing?
Father is spirit. Well, it's because in the modalistic example, it says it puts Jesus in the middle. He is the Father, is the Spirit. But that doesn't make sense
follow
to
John
me.
4:24, Eli. Eli, I know you're as slow as I look. Quoting to me John 4:24 to say that God the Father is spirit, it doesn't follow then that Jesus is the Father. Yes, God, who in context is the Father, is spirit, because it's talking about the divine nature. The divine nature is not material, physical, composite like you and I. That's what spirit means. Yeah, so God, there is the Father. How do I know? Because when I bring up the text, it tells you who the God is that Jesus is speaking of. The same God that he as a Jew worships. You with me there?
Yes.
By the way, Joey, I'm still waiting for you to come up because I want you to bring up those arguments.
I just texted him.
He's in the comment section, so if he's free. Okay, now let's read the context. Who is this God that Jesus says is spirit? Here we go. John 4:20-24. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, and you people say that in Jerusalem is a place where men ought to worship. Jesus said to her, woman, believe me, an hour is coming when neither in this mountain nor in Jerusalem will you worship the Father. So who is he talking about here?
The Father.
You worship what you do not know. We, because he's a Jewish man, and as a man, part of Israel, he too would honor the Father and worship him. We worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. But an hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For such people, the Father seeks to be his worshipers. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. Who is the God in this context?
The Father.
So to tell me that God the Father is spirit by nature, and then assume that means Jesus is the Father, it does not follow.
Okay.
Why is he the Father?
Why is he the Father?
Yeah, go ahead, tell me, because you said, oh, see here, God is spirit. Okay. So Jesus the Father. Hello?
That's actually a really good question. Why is the Father?
Yeah,
the
because
Father? Because he is. That's the only answer I have. Because he is who he is.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Why is he called Father from eternity, Eli?
Well, then why are you bringing up an objection he didn't bring up? Stuck for the lows.
Okay, all right. See why I didn't want to talk. You see why I didn't want to talk? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go
why is
so
he
why
called the Father?
Does it follow that if God the Father is spirit, that means Jesus is the Father?
He's called the Father because he must have a co-eternal Son. That's the only thing I could think of.
So Jesus is his own Son from eternity? Brother, part of your conversion, did you stop doing drugs?
I never did drugs.
Why is Jesus the Father? If you're saying he's the son, then you just said he's not the father. Make up your mind.
That's true. But I'm not the one saying he's the father. It's
So
my
then why are
math.
you arguing their case if you don't know why they believe it? Ask them.
Ask them. Okay.